Hey guys, welcome. This is Brad Krantz. Thanks for joining me today for my Monday morning leadership. We got Thanksgiving coming up this week. Looking forward to that. And leadership perspective, I'm talking about a growth mindset, guys. And this is something that's kind of a personal message because I've been really impacted. My growth mindset has really been formulated here. I've really developed it over the past few months. It's become a real important topic. So I want to share this from a leadership standpoint. And to start out by saying, growth mindset, obviously it's a popular discussion in educational circles. We talk about it in business quite a bit. Just want to kind of share with you what we're talking about here, a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. I'm not going to go through all these characteristics, but I'll leave it up there. But basically mindset, what we're talking about is what we believe about ourselves and what we believe we're capable of. If you've got a fixed mindset, again, I'm just going to say it's set. You have what you have as far as skills and intelligence. A growth mindset says that your mindset can be grown and developed. That's the long and short of it. We can talk about, main concern toward efforts, challenges, feedback, mistakes. We're going to talk about some of these things here, but mindset is really important, I believe, as far as how to be successful in life. But if you're in the business arena as an entrepreneur, as I am, but I'm going to focus this really on a leadership standpoint. So a growth mindset is easier than you think, but there's certain things that you've got to know about it, right? And I'm going to talk about 10 points of a growth mindset and focus it on leaders. Kind of one of the go-to works here about a growth mindset is a professor from Stanford, Carol Dweck. Her book is kind of, I guess you'd say, the magnus opus of books on mindset, The New Psychology of Success. Tom Bilyeu and his Mindset 101 refers to it. So she's kind of the go-to person talking about mindset is kind of the definitive work there. So be referencing that. But a growth mindset, she says, sees failure or challenge not as evidence of unintelligence, but as a heartening springboard for growth and for stretching our existing abilities. And obviously I showed you the initial meme there, fixed mindset versus a growth mindset. Growth mindset really includes everything that we think or learn that empowers us and drives us to flourish and improve on every level. And again, as I said, I think is really important, especially from a leadership standpoint. So let's look at, things that we can do to improve, right? I think number one is leaders. We need to embrace our imperfections, right? If we deny or fear our weaknesses instead of recognizing them, we can't overcome them. A growth mindset means not only that we can improve, okay, but also knowing where to begin, right? First, I think we have to recognize we have a fixed mindset. How do we get out of that? You don't have to do it all at once. And again, it's not going to happen all at once, but pick something about yourself that you want to work on and take it one step at a time. So here's some questions on, embracing your imperfections, right? What is it about myself that I know needs improving? And this is going to take some self-awareness, of course. Why? And then ask yourself, why is this important to you? And then why is it important to others that I'm connected to? And then how and where will I choose to begin? So I think these are some good questions on working through this. Secondly, is I think leaders need to develop a new personal belief, right? I think it's getting really hard to lead others if you've got stuck in a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset, right? Our mind obviously is a powerful force that directs the course of our lives. And generally the accepted philosophy is, if you believe it, it will come true for you. And that's true to a significant extent. Not, you can't think it into existence, but if your mindset is fixed, it's certainly not going to happen. You want to know what you can do to begin believing and affirming for yourself, that will help lead you toward growth and progress. You can ask yourself, what kind of personal belief would benefit me? I think you need to know what your core values are, what drives you. So that's certainly important part of that question. But is there an old belief that I have that I can upgrade? Part of me was being brought up in my family, loving family. My dad had some physical challenges, so he was never able to instill confidence in. He didn't really have quite the confidence there. He was a great man. He's a hero in many regards to me in my life, but he couldn't instill confidence in me because he didn't have it in himself. And throughout my whole work life, I've always felt like I was second guess. People always, questioning my judgment and that really leads to where you have a lack of self-confidence. Can I really make decisions? Can I make the right decisions in that? So for me, that was an old belief. I had to believe that I can't do this. I haven't had success here before, so I can't do it. That yes, now I can start talking about scaling a 7-figure business and really believe that we're doing this online with our 3LE team. But where's a belief that you can upgrade? And how can I word this new belief in a way that feels good to me? So it's got to be for you. You've got to be able to own it. And then how can you incorporate this belief into your daily life? Okay, so hopefully that's helpful. Number three, you got leaders need to be curious about something. I'm a curious person. I love to learn. I'm a big reader. I love history and that. But when we commit to being curious, the world opens up to us, right? Because we're starting to ask questions. Well, what about this? What about that? As a result, I think we welcome new experiences and challenges, and we discover things that enrich our lives. So what will you give yourself permission to be curious about today? And I think if you're not a curious person, again, it's gonna be hard to develop a growth mindset because I'm kind of here. I don't want to learn anything new. I've already learned it. I went through high school, haven't read a book or anything. But what have you always been interested in? Okay. Have you heard something recently that intrigued you? How do you feel about this? And then what can you do to find out more? Again, I'm a big reader. I think leaders are readers. Not all readers are leaders, but leaders are readers. You need to be a reader. You need to be understanding things that are going on. And again, if you have a fixed mindset, it's going to be kind of hard to be curious. So I think as leaders, this is important. And then fourth, leaders need to learn something new, right? Leaders are learners too. Okay. You can't lead if you're not learning and growing. And that's important. We're not talking about, maybe learning a foreign language necessarily, or learning martial arts, or, playing a musical instrument or anything like that. You can certainly do that. But it could be something as simple as a quick bit of research to answer a question or gain a tidbit of wisdom for someone in a conversation. I'm always a guy, I want to go to the source, whether it's through a book or Wikipedia, Google something so I can understand it. In the end, learning is learning, right? So ask yourself here as a leader, what's one thing you'd like to learn about right now? And then what would you like to learn long term? Maybe it's a skill or a subject matter that you really want to develop in. I think it was Earl Nightingale said you can become an expert if you devote, an hour a day over 5 years. You can be a subject matter expert. And why do I want to learn this? If you don't have a why, you won't. I'll just take it back to when I was in school. When you get to pick a band, I wanted to be a drummer. I just love drumming. I love drummers. My mom, dad wouldn't let me. I had to play the clarinet, and I never really, it was a struggle because my heart wasn't into it, right? So why do you want to learn it? That's important. If you don't have a desire to learn it, you're not going to. And then ask yourself too, how will this knowledge benefit yourself? If you're just doing it for the sake of fulfilling a curiosity, it's great. But a lot of time I want to learn something because I want to be able to apply this to my life. I want to be able to understand it. So I think as leaders, that's really important. And then fifth, leaders turn mistakes around, right? Leaders learn from their mistakes. That's really an important mindset. The ability to turn failures into opportunities is really a hallmark of the growth mindset oriented leader, right? Failure is part of life, guys. Again, I'll say this over and over. We're not taught that failure is bad, but what did you learn from the failure? And you're going to have failures on your journey of success. I don't know anybody who's been successful that hasn't learned from their failures. One of my mentors, Calvin Becerra, said he's learned nothing from his success, but everything from his failures. And I think we need to keep that in our minds as leaders, that failure is good, but what did you learn from it? Mistakes are never seen in a negative light. A mistake's not the end, right? Failure's not fatal unless you dwell on it and you can't move forward, right? You're in a fixed mindset. I failed here. I can't do this. With this mindset, a growth mindset, you want to look at them as learning experiences, right? And it creates a different approach the next time. So here's some questions you can ask yourself here. What do you usually do when you make mistakes or fail at something? I guess, what's your mindset? How do you react to that? Is this a constructive or negative approach, right? And if it's negative, what can you do to make it positive for yourself? And what's one mistake that you made today that you can learn from in retrospect? Okay. And number 6 is leaders need to be inspired by someone, right? We get by with help from our friends, as the old song goes, the Beatles song. But truly, we all have friends or acquaintances that have done things that inspire us. And I would say as leaders, you want to be motivated, but motivation hopefully leads to inspiration. Inspiration leads to action. But even those we don't know can still serve as examples of motivation and dedication. So who are these people for? I'm motivated. Again, Calvin Becerra is a motivator for me. My business partners, Adam and Ashley Reeker, a whole host of people, John Maxwell, Simon Sinek, Gary Vaynerchuk, just to name a few, inspire me because of their success, their mindset, their attitude toward life. So ask yourself, what's one person who really inspires you? And who is that? And what have they done that you find so inspiring? And how does this person's actions motivate your own quest for success, right? I want to And what will you begin to act on this inspiration, right? It's like the old, I don't know if you've heard this story before, but 4 frogs were sitting on a long log. One decided to jump off. How many are left? Well, 4, because he only decided. So decision, you have to make a decision, but you've also got to take action on that. So that's part of motivation. So should lead to inspiration, and that should lead to action. If you don't take action, you're still sitting on the log, right? And then this is important too. Number 7, leaders practice gratitude, right? An attitude of gratitude, especially coming up into Thanksgiving. I think this is important, but it's not something reserved for the accomplished or the affluent, right? Everyone, no matter what they have in life, has something to be thankful for, right? I was just talking to a gentleman earlier today. Hey, be thankful that you have a job, that you got a roof over your head, that you have food on the table, et cetera. Maybe you got your health, because so many people don't, right? We're very blessed here in America. And there's even better news. Being grateful is actually great for your brain, right? It sets a different mindset when you're thankful, instead of having what's wrong, what's broken in life. What can you be what can you be grateful for, right? So what can you choose to be grateful for today, guys? Right? We got Thanksgiving come up. I think there's a ton of things that we can think of. And who am I grateful to have in my life? Think of my wife and my daughters. Why am I grateful for this thing or person? Okay. And then how can you continue to practice gratitude? Just to take 5 minutes every day, I'll suggest, and think about what you're grateful for. We got a sunny, beautiful sunny day here in Seattle, Washington, right? Something to be thankful for. So an attitude of gratitude is going to go a long ways toward helping develop a growth mindset, right? And then number 8 is leaders monitor their daily thoughts. You got to monitor what goes into your brain. The brain, we can have thousands of thoughts in a single day. So you don't want to try to figure them all out unless you got a lot of time on your hands. But instead, the thoughts to watch out for are the ones that contain elements of negativity or limitation. I make sure I keep negative people, negative influences out of my life as much as possible, because I don't want them there. For example, say, can't, don't, won't are the biggest offenders to developing a growth mindset. I can't do this. I haven't done this. You've got to change that around. So what point today has your thinking been negative? Can you recall how you felt at the time? And if you were to continue thinking this way, what would your results be? And then lastly is, how can you turn this thought into one that's more proactive and positive? And I think a lot of it is just changing our language about I can, I will. When I talk about, again, scaling a 7-figure business online, I really believe that. I'm believing it because I'm saying it, rather than, well, I think we could do it. I'm not sure we might be able to, but hey, we're going to be scaling a 7-figure business online. 9th, for leaders celebrate another success. This is huge, guys. You want to celebrate your own achievements with humility and those of others with great enthusiasm. Leaders should be excited about the success of those they lead, right? Leaders want to develop other leaders. Leaders are empowerers. Okay, there's nothing like the feeling that you get from supporting someone as they rise to a new height and conquer a challenge, hit a goal, meet a goal. Think of how you can help someone celebrate their success. Be excited for other people, right? Who do you know that's achieved something great? Reach out. Social media, you can reach out, congratulate somebody. They had a birthday, they got a job promotion. Be excited about it. Congratulate them. Be a leader and take the initiative. How did this achievement make them feel? Probably good. How can you celebrate this with them? Again, I think something just as simple as drop an email, message them, direct message them, whatever platform you're on social media, and just be excited. Celebrate somebody's birth of a new child. Reach out, just be excited about it. And then how can you apply the same work and perseverance to your own goals? Lastly, guys, leaders redefine their genius. You've done something special, something great, something incredible. Don't deny it. You have, right? The myth of genius being what only a chosen few were born with is busted now and forever. You got to look hard at your accomplishments and talents. Somewhere in there, you have a cause to celebrate your own unique genius. Guys, thanks so much for joining me. I hope this has helped just kind of provide some leadership perspective on developing a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. I'd love to hear back from you, your comments, your feedback. Maybe where are you struggling with? Where are you having successes with going from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset? And how's this changing things in your life? As always, please hit the subscribe button. You're more than welcome. I'd love to have you connect with me on social media on the links that I'll provide. Guys, have an awesome Monday. Thanks for tuning in, and happy Thanksgiving this week. Bye-bye.